Dear students, in this class we are going to see prodrugs. So what are the other names of prodrugs? They are otherwise called as pro-agents or bioreversible derivatives or latentiated drug or congeners. So these are chemically inert precursors, and this upon biotransformation liberates pharmacologically active parent compound. So what they are? They are inert precursors. On biotransformation only we are getting active compound. Now we'll see the ideal characteristics of prodrugs. That should be inactive or less active than the parent. So prodrugs should be inactive or less active than the parent. It should not have intrinsic pharmacological activity. The linkage between the drug and the carrier must be cleared in vivo. The carrier released in vivo must be non-toxic. The metabolic fragments of the carrier molecule apart from the active drug should be non-toxic. So the metabolic fragments in the carrier should be non-toxic. Now we'll see the classification of prodrugs. So based on constitution, lipophilicity, method of bioactivation and catalyst involved, these prodrugs are classified into two types. They are carrier-linked prodrugs and bioprecursors. So what are the two types? One is carrier-linked prodrugs and another one is bioprecursors. Now we'll see carrier-linked prodrugs. These are otherwise called as simple prodrugs. These are generally esters or amides. Here, the active drug is linked to the inert carrier or transport moiety by means of covalent bond. So, such prodrugs modify the lipophilicity due to the attached carrier. So, the active drug is released by hydrolytic cleavage either chemically or enzymatically. So, what is meant by carrier-linked prodrugs? What is the other name? They are otherwise called as simple prodrugs. They are mostly esters or amides. So how the active drug is attached to the carrier? By means of covalent bond. So these prodrugs, they modify the lipophilicity. How the active drug is released? By means of hydrolytic cleavage, either by chemically or enzymatically. So the example is we have chloramphenicol succinate. Already we have known the structure of chloramphenicol. What is that? Phenyl ring, para position we have a nitro group, and here CHOH, here CH, NHCOCHCl2 and CH2OH, that is for chloramphenicol. Here we are adding succinate ester, that is here by replacing one H we are adding this one, so that is called as succinic acid. So what you are getting? Chloramphenicol succinate. So this would be hydrolyzed. This is an ester. So this would be hydrolyzed. Ester would be hydrolyzed. We are getting one acid, another one is alcohol. So we are getting chloramphenicol and sodium succinate. So sodium salt of succinic acid. So this is an example for carrier-linked prodrugs. Now we'll see the next one, that is called bioprecursors. They are inert molecules. It is obtained by chemical modification of the active drug but do not contain a carrier. Example, the NSAID, that is Sulindac, that is inactive as sulfoxide and must be reduced metabolically as active sulfide. So this is the structure of Sulindac. It is administered as a prodrug and this is an inactive one. Actually, it's available as sulfoxide. This sulfoxide, no, this is an inactive one, but this should be converted to active one. That is, by converting into sulfide, this is acting as an active one. So what is the example? Sulindac. What is Sulindac? That is an NSAID that is inactive as sulfoxide. So sulfoxide is an inactive form, which is the active form, that is sulfide is the active form. Prodrugs are also classified based on functional groups. They are classified as carboxylic acids and alcohols, amines, azo linkages and carbonyl compounds. So first one is carboxylic acid and alcohols. So prodrugs of this carboxylic acid and alcohol functionalities can be prepared by conversion to esters. So they can be prepared by converting that into esters. The esters can be easily hydrolyzed by means of esterase enzymes. Examples for esterase enzymes are lipase, ester hydrolase, cholesterol esterase, acetylcholine esterase and carboxypeptidase. These are present in plasma and other tissues to give active drug. So we'll see the first example. Here drug is connected to the pro moiety by means of ester linkage. So by means of esterase, what happens here? There is a cleavage. On this end, OH should be added. Here H should be added. So we are getting drug with acid and here pro moiety with OH. So here another one is drug is connected to the pro moiety by means of O, that is oxygen with ester. So by means of this esterase enzyme, what happens? Here there is a cleavage. So between this oxygen and carbon there is a cleavage. With the oxygen H should be added and here also H should be added. With the ester H should be added. So we are getting drug with OH and pro moiety with acid. Another example is chloramphenicol palmitate. Already we have seen chloramphenicol succinate. This is chloramphenicol palmitate. We are adding palmitate salt. So this is available as a palmitate salt. How that would be converted? The ester, no, that would be hydrolyzed by means of water. So here with the oxygen H should be added, with the CO OH should be added and we are getting chloramphenicol plus palmitic acid. Next one is dipivefrin hydrochloride. So by means of this esterase, what happens here? These two oxygens, no, that is connected with this carbon. So that would be broken. Here with the oxygen H should be added and with the CO OH should be added. So this would be removed. Similarly, here we have oxygen, no. So between this oxygen and carbon there is a cleavage. With the oxygen H should be added and with the CO OH should be added. So two molecules of pivulic acid would be removed and what you are getting? We are getting epinephrine. Now we'll see for amines. Because of high stability and lack of amidase enzyme that is necessary for hydrolysis, the conversion of amines to amide as a prodrug is not used for most of the drugs. So most common approach is to use managed base as a prodrug form of amine. For example, here we have taken ampicillin and that one is treated with acetone. So this reaction undergoes managed reaction to give a managed base. So here how we are getting the managed base? Here we have NH2, no? So from that one hydrogen, here we have NH, this hydrogen, and from acetone, no, that is having oxygen. So oxygen from acetone. So one molecule of water, from that one molecule of water would be removed and we are getting hetacillin. So how we are getting hetacillin? Here we have NH, here we have N. So that two nitrogens would be connected with this carbon to form imidazolidine ring. So that is called as hetacillin. So hetacillin is a prodrug form of ampicillin. Here the amide nitrogen, so this nitrogen and alpha amino functionalities react with acetone to form a managed base. So that is, this is called as imidazolidine ring system. So because of that, what happens? There is a decrease in basicity and increase in lipophilicity and absorption. So that is one example. Another one is Rowley tetracycline. In Rowley tetracycline, that would be hydrolyzed. On hydrolysis, what happens? The bond between nitrogen and carbon would be broken and bond between again this carbon and nitrogen would be broken. With the nitrogen, H should be added and here also one H should be added. Here we have CH2O. So three products we are getting. One is pyrrolidine. Another one is CH2O, that is called formaldehyde, that is HCHO, otherwise CH2O, both are same, formaldehyde and tetracycline. So on hydrolysis of Rowley tetracycline, what we are getting? Tetracycline, formaldehyde and pyrrolidine. So the basic pyrrolidine nitrogen increases water solubility of the parent drug Rowley tetracycline. The managed base hydrolyzes completely and rapidly in aqueous media to give active tetracycline. Now we'll see for azo linkage. The prodrugs of the amines are prepared by incorporating them into an azo linkage. So what is the enzyme used for this? That is azo reductase. Example is prontosil. Prontosil is inactive in vitro but it is active in vivo. So that should be converted into sulfanilamide by means of the enzyme azo reductase. We have known the structure of prontosil. We have studied this one in sulfonamides. So here in the prontosil we have two nitrogens and that two are connected by means of double bond. So here by means of this enzyme, what is that? That is called azo reductase. Aza is nitrogen. So nitrogen would be reduced by means of this enzyme. So here the double bond would be broken. So with each nitrogens, two hydrogens would be added. So NH2, NH2. So we are getting two products. One is 1,2,4 triaminobenzene. Another one is sulfanilamide. So what is the active drug of prontosol? That is called sulfanilamide. Next one is called sulfasalazine. So again, by using the same enzyme azo reductase, we have known the structure of sulfasalazine. So same as that of the prontosol, the double bond between the two nitrogens would be cleaved and two hydrogens would be added with this nitrogen and two more hydrogens would be added with this nitrogen. So what you are getting? One is this part now that is called as aminosalicylic acid, and this one is called sulfapyridine. The conversion of carbonyl moiety, that is like aldehyde and ketone to prodrug, is not used clinically. They are converted to the derivatives. Here, the sp2 carbonyl carbon is converted to sp3 hybridized carbon attached to the heteroatoms. These prodrugs are reconverted to carbonyl compounds by means of hydrolysis. The example is hexamine. So this hexamine that release formaldehyde and ammonia in the presence of acidic pH. So this formaldehyde is acting as an antibacterial agent. So already we have seen hexamine. So what are the other names of hexamine? Methenamine, urotropin, or hexamethylene tetramine. So this, in the presence of acidic pH, that will release formaldehyde plus ammonia. This formaldehyde is used as an antibacterial agent. Now we'll see the differences between bioprecursors and carrier linked prodrugs. So what are the differences? We'll see that. On constitution, we'll see the constitution. What is the constitution for carrier linked prodrugs? That is active drug plus active principle plus carrier group. Here in the case of bioprecursor, no carrier group is there. For bioactivation, here hydrolysis, no, that would be the bioactivation. Here it may be oxidative or reductive. Catalysis, here that may be chemical or enzymatic. Here that is only enzymatic. We'll see lipophilicity. This is strongly modified, but this is slightly modified. So that's all about the classification of prodrugs. Next class we'll see the application of prodrugs.